Hello Leo, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your connection between you and the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. We'll be pulling for all three sides of the connection, so we're going to look at your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section is looking at what is the deeper purpose of this connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. On that note, especially if you're a cross-watcher, just know that this whole reading can be reversed. And if that is the case for you, that's totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what helps and leave what doesn't. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Leo, let's see what we've got here. We're going to start with looking at overall energy through oracle cards first, and then we'll dive deeper into the reading, into the story with tarot as we progress with the reading. So let's start, Leo, with your side of this connection to the person you are dealing with. This is Leo's energy. Ooh. Okay, boundaries with shattered. Then you also, the soulmate recognition card keeps popping out here. So I feel like when you and this person met, there was this incredibly deep, like, familiarity about them, almost like you had known them for, before or in a past life or something of that nature. And I feel like you saw a lot of potential when it came to this connection and where things could go and what this could evolve into. And I feel like you were pretty willing to do what you could to bring that potential to fruition, as anybody in your shoes would. However, it feels like you had a certain idea of like who this person was and who they could be. And it feels like that image of them in some way was shattered, almost like they ended up not being the person you thought that they were, or like they were never able to really step in to that person. And with the boundaries card, I feel like you're kind of in this position of, still desiring, or were, I don't know if this is past or not or present, but in this position of desiring this connection and all that it has, like all that's possible here, but yet at the same time feeling like you have to protect yourself from it, especially if this person ended up being someone different than you expected them to be. So it's interesting because it's like you desire it and what this potential is, but at the same time you kind of feel like you have to protect yourself from it. This person's energy toward you, Leo. But like you also recognize, it's like you recognize this person's soul, like with that soulmate recognition card, like you recognize them on such a deep level, and that connection, that strong connection that's like below the surface is very much there. Oh, fate. Actually, I don't know yet. Passion. Then you have this divine timing card. Interesting. Okay. And then mirroring. I feel like this person also feels very drawn to you and to this connection. And I feel like they also felt that way, like right from the beginning. And it's obvious that they have a strong desire for this connection with this passion card. Like I feel like there is an attraction, a desire here. This fate card is interesting because it almost feels like there are some things that are really getting in the way of like their ability to show up in this, or their ability to commit, or their ability to be who they need to be in order for this connection to work. And why I say that is, I've really learned that we have a fate and we have a destiny. And our fate are the karmic cycles that we develop based on like our trauma or our lack of healing or the growth that's needed. And then our destiny is when we break out of those cycles and we're able to really experience the life that we desire. So to me, it feels like there's something very karmic that this person is either dealing with or that is in this person's life that is keeping them from being able to be in this connection in the way that you need, in the way that you ultimately deserve. Now, divine timing can kind of give this this energy of like there is divine protection at play in some way. Divine timing is everything kind of lines up exactly when it needs to. But I'm not really sure how that plays into the energy yet. So let's see what the truth of this connection is, Leo, between you and this person. Love. That's what you need. There is love here. But it's like there's something, I don't want to say blocking the love. Yeah, because then there's separation. It's like separation despite love. And this wild card is this energy of things in this connection feeling very up in the air. And I think that it's hard because it's obvious that there's something really deep here. It's obvious that you and this person have something that is special, but it feels like there's something blocking them. It feels like there's something on their side that's blocking. Like with that fate card. So, I don't know. I think we tend to, like, our mind tends to jump to, like, third party or something like that. But there's so many other things it could be, that is blocking them. So that's not necessarily what I'm saying. I'm not like, oh, there's they're dealing with a karmic person. Karmic cycles can represent so many different things in our life. And I feel like we'll get deeper into that as we progress. But let's see what we've got here. Overall theme of this reading, Leo, between you and this person. Ooh. Influence and distractions. Literally, it's like there are outside factors that are affecting this connection, that are affecting this connection's ability to come together in like a healthy, sustainable way. One more. The miscommunication. I feel like then the destined soul ties, which kind of gives the same energy of like that soulmate recognition card. Like you and this person were supposed to meet. That's what I feel like this is really talking about. But this miscommunication card makes it feel like neither person is really 100% sure like what the other person is thinking or feeling. So there's just a lot of things at play and a lot of reactions maybe to, because when we're not 100% sure what somebody is thinking or feeling, we are going to try to figure that out ourselves. And we're going to try to figure out based on the way that they act and the things that they say. And if somebody isn't telling us directly like how they feel, what they're thinking, we might have a tendency to read in between the lines. And the first way that we do that is typically through our insecurity. So in any connection, if there is a lack of like vulnerability and communication, both people are going to be reading into the other person's actions, words through the lens of insecurity, which is going to create triggering. And then when one person gets triggered, they say things that triggers the other person, and it just kind of is like this back and forth, like spiral almost. So I feel like there's, and I don't know necessarily if that applies to this, but I feel like that's typically what I like get when I see this miscommunication card. But let's see. I feel like we've got a lot to talk about. So Leo, let's look at your side of this connection to the person you are dealing with. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ace of Wands. I mean, there's no doubt that there's passion here, that there's attraction. I've seen it on both sides now, them with the passion card, you with the Ace of Wands. So I feel like this connection is really strong and it holds a lot of emotion for you. Sun in reverse with the Two of Swords. However, you are not happy with how things are. I feel like you're desiring or were desiring, however this resonates. Maybe it's a certain level of, sorry, let me pull one more card. A certain level of commitment or effort or energy or something. And again, because you saw, or maybe even still see, regardless of how I talk about it, whether it's in the past or the present for you, take it as it resonates. Because sometimes these readings can bring up past relationships because it's who we're dealing with and need to learn the most from right now. And sometimes who we need to learn the most from can exist in the past. But anyway, I feel like you saw a lot of potential with this connection. And I do feel like there were times that this person showed you that potential, maybe with their words or their actions, I'm not quite sure. But it was like you were always left wanting more. Like things were never where you ultimately wanted them to be or desired them to be in terms of maybe commitment or effort or vulnerability or depth or whatever the case might be. And it's not that you were asking for too much. I don't feel like that's the case at all. I feel like you just had I feel like you had very reasonable expectations when it came to this person and how you were wanting them to show up. But again, it feels like you were always left lacking or are always left lacking. Now, with this Four of Wands, I feel like you had kind of like this idea of where this connection could go. And I feel like you had a lot of hope for that, right? With the Six of Wands, like we were kind of just talking about. And I feel like a lot of the reason that this connection got so difficult for you was you saw all of the good in this and this potential and the possibility here, but it just felt like this person was working against it almost like no matter how hard you tried, it just felt like this person was never showing up for you in the way that they would have needed to in order to reach this. And I feel like with this Knight of Swords in reverse, there was this energy of like really pouring a lot of yourself into this, your mind, your body, your spirit, into trying to make this this work or trying to get to this point where you saw that this could go. And I think that through the process of this, you really, you drained yourself a lot just because I think you did pour so much into this. Now with the Nine of Pentacles here, like kind of as the underlying, I feel like this person had a lot of things that like you had always really wanted in a partner. It's like they checked a lot of your boxes. And I feel like that's why you saw that deep potential, is you were like, man, I've been waiting for this, or like, this is the person that, this is my person, this is the one, like kind of energy. But then like, and I feel like that's where that shattered thing, that shattered card, that shattered energy comes from, is it feels like they ended up, not being that, or like certain things started to come out, like true colors or whatever, that made you see them in a different light. And I feel like you had kind of like a certain, like I said, idea or opinion of them, and then that really changed based on certain things that they did or the ways that they acted. And I feel like that ends up really hurting you, because you saw a loss of like this path or potential to the love that you have always wanted, and you feel like you had really lost that. But I feel like there's more to, understanding what the purpose of this is, right? Because the love that is meant for us, and ultimately what is meant for us in general, it never passes us. And if something doesn't work out, it typically means that it is paving the way for something better to come along, or for something to work out in a way that is better than we can currently understand. So I feel like even though things in this connection have been really hard, I do feel like there is some sort of like purpose to it. Like again, with the Destined Soul Ties card that you have here, like I really do feel that there's more to this than maybe you might realize or think. But let's see what we've got going on with them, because fate and passion is an interesting energy to start out with. So this person's energy toward you, Leo. It's a lack of commitment. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. It's like a lack of commitment or loyalty. The Hierophant. Hang on. Whoa. There's that. The World in reverse. The 4 of Swords. Ace of Cups in reverse. The World in reverse. I want one or two more. And I feel like that's what you were wanting from this person, commitment. Commitment to you, commitment to the connection. And I feel like it's like that's all that you needed. You're like, if this person, because again, I said like you weren't asking for too much. It was like if this person could just commit, if they could just show up, then like everything would be, fine. We could work it out, or we could make it work, or whatever the case is. But it feels like no matter how hard you tried, they never fully committed to this. And with the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like they struggle with that, just kind of in general, with commitment, or like loyalty could be a word there to kind of to represent that. And I feel like it's interesting, that you would be dealing with someone who struggles with loyalty, because just based on this energy, it feels like you were very, very loyal to this person and very committed to them. And willing to kind of like do what you could to make it work, which is not a bad thing. That's, I think, the right people will recognize that and reciprocate that. But it just feels like this person has a lot of things that get in the way of their ability to commit. Now, it does definitely feel, and going back to what I saw with this Fate and then this World in reverse card, it does definitely feel like there are some karmic energies at play in their life. It's like they're almost like always... when you're dealing with someone who struggles with commitment, you're typically dealing with someone that doesn't know doesn't know what they have until it's gone, kind of thing. And, kind of jump from one thing to the next, or, aren't able to fully invest themselves because they struggle with allowing themselves to be open to like that vulnerability that comes with commitment. Because if they commit, then that means that they're opening themselves up for the potential of like you leaving them or hurting them in some way. And it feels like with this Ace of Cups in reverse, this person has kind of buried a lot of emotion, especially when it comes to things they've experienced in the past. So they don't deal with a whole lot. I feel like they kind of just react, or, what's a better way of saying that? Like, they live their life in a very surface level energy. It's like there's no depth here. They haven't met themselves at a deep enough level to be able to show up in the way that you were looking for them to. And it doesn't mean that, they're not capable of it. I feel like there's just like with this Hierophant here, it does kind of feel like this person needs a little bit of a wake-up call. Like, this person needs like a little dose of reality to recognize that, like, the things that they're doing, or like the ways that they're treating people that treat them well, like, is not okay. Because it does feel like this person has a tendency to do a lot of things that, like, aren't okay, but yet, like, there's no accountability here. Because again, there's no depth. Like, it's just kind of like I'm trying to think of a good way to explain this. It's like, when you talk about soul connections, like, that exists below the surface, right? And people being able to fully commit to creating a healthy relationship requires them to meet themselves at a deep enough level to meet the other person at the level that is required for those connections to essentially thrive. And when you're dealing with someone who lives their life on the surface, you're usually dealing with someone that doesn't like to feel anything uncomfortable. And relationships will make you feel uncomfortable things. It will make you feel vulnerability and fear. It'll make you face your insecurity. And any relationship will push you to grow. And if you're dealing with someone who, like, doesn't want to grow, or, like, doesn't want to face those uncomfortable things, then they're going to force them out or push them away. And I feel like that's really the karmic cycle at play in this person's life, is they're more attracted to things that are very surface level. Okay, yeah. They're more attracted to things that are very surface level and that don't make them go deeper. And I feel like this connection and the nature of it, it is deep, right? You experienced it right off the gate with the soulmate recognition card. I feel like they saw that and felt that too. But I feel like it's something that is very hard for them to face and handle and deal with. So they're more attracted to what doesn't pull them to that level, which doesn't make them feel that vulnerability and that level of discomfort, and doesn't push them to grow and to heal and to evolve, which ultimately are what's what we're here to do. We're here to grow, heal, and evolve. But when we meet people who aren't wanting to do those things, we cannot sustainably build a healthy relationship with them, because they are not doing the work themselves to make that relationship sustainable in the first place. So I feel like what's really hard about this is you saw that depth, right? You met this person, I feel like, at a deeper level than they met you, because you have met yourself at a deeper level. Maybe you've done a little bit of healing. You've done a little bit of soul searching. Like, you do face and heal, or face and process your emotions. You do the hard stuff, the hard work. And it feels like this person just doesn't. It's like they're, like, the way that I could think of it is, it's like they're kind of living their life a little bit. It's like they don't take anything seriously, or like which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, it's not a bad thing to have fun with life, but it just feels like they're so focused on not feeling anything deep, and they're always just kind of chasing something that is exciting but doesn't require much from them. And that, just in general, is a reflection of their need to grow and their need to heal. And it doesn't mean that they won't, but I feel like this person does need, like I said, like a wake-up call to recognize, like, okay, if I actually want to create, like, healthy, sustainable relationships in my life, I'm going to need to do a little bit of work. And it feels like this person struggles with that. It's like there's no emotional intelligence here, or even like awareness, like emotional or self-awareness. Like, they're just kind of like going through life. I don't know. I get why this is hard for you, because again, you see that potential and you recognize them on such a deep level that it's like, man, just go deeper, but it's like they're so determined to not. And that's the karmic cycle that I feel like is in the way here. And sure, that can manifest as like a different person, or it can manifest as like them prioritizing things such as like the pursuit of wealth or status, things that are surface level and don't really matter. You know, especially if you feel like this person just like left you or like walked away from you and like went and chose somebody else, or like whatever the case is. I'm not saying they did. This is like if you know about this and this is something that you're aware of, it's probably because that person doesn't require them to meet them deeper. It's like that connection is just kind of like on the surface and there's nothing real there. This connection had a lot of potential for there to be something very real. One of the best things I've ever learned is that our ability to experience the love that we desire is not in the hands of people who aren't able to meet us where we deserve. And it's hard when we see that potential, because it's like, well, I've never experienced potential like that before. I've never, saw the path to something like that or felt like that before. And we start to wonder, like, okay, so if this person never heals or grows or evolves or commits, like, does that mean I'm never going to have the love that I deserve and desire? And the answer to that is absolutely not. Like, you are absolutely capable of having the love that you deserve and desire, but I feel like it's going to have to come from somebody who is capable, willing, and able to meet you at a deeper level, because it just kind of feels like this person isn't, for whatever reason. And that's like their own thing, because they're going to continue to experience failed relationships. They're going to continue to experience this karmic cycle of not having what it is they desire. They're going to keep essentially like messing up, because I feel like they really messed up here by not prioritizing this or committing to this in the way that you deserve. But it's just kind of like that's their loss. Now, I know that doesn't make it any easier, but seriously, like, if somebody doesn't recognize how valuable you are and how much you have to give, it at the end of the day is kind of on them, right? That's their loss. You know that you can still have the love that you deserve and desire, because you are worthy and deserving of it, and you will find the person or the people that are meant to love you in the way that you deserve. But they might not, because they haven't done that healing and they're not open to allowing themselves to give and receive love in a healthy way. So it's like, at the end of the day, like, you're going to get what you want, and they're going to continue to chase meaningless kind of energy in a way. I feel like I'm being mean to this person. I'm really not trying to be. It's just the way the energy reads. And I feel like this person does have a lot of growing up to do, and I feel like you know that. But I feel like the biggest thing you need to know is that you still absolutely can have and are capable of having the love that you deserve. In between this connection, you have separation with love. I'm going to hop on over to the extended and dive deeper into these messages, looking at the deeper purpose and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your support of my channel. It does help me more than you know to have you guys here. So thank you. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Leo.